Just wanted to show some gameplay of my level 88 Juggernaut, Boneshatter. This is definitely not a done build by any means. Pretty basic stuff, mostly self-acquired or self-crafted. Again, DPS on this is 800, but most of it's, or at least half of it's elemental, so not great. I do have a 5-link, but again, most of the gear is pretty terrible at this point. Some Tanuahi that I got on the trade. Same thing on the tree. Did manage to pick up a natural affinity for a little more defense, as that is my preference. So still doing map progression. Obviously into yellow maps, just beginning reds. Let's see, we got a Carcass map, tier 9. Aura-wise, running just your basic War Banner Termination, still running Herald of Purity. We'll move up to Pride at some point when I get a little more mana reservation. A lot of buttons for the way that I usually play, which is Righteous Fire, but still getting used to it. I am currently pretty heavy into essences, just to get some contempts and things for crafting stuff myself. So not so much on a selling basis, but just to keep my own stuff going. And for the most part they die quickly, though we do run into some times where they take a little bit longer. Just depends on the mods they have. Filter's also pretty open right now, as it's league start for me, and I tend to like picking up a lot of stuff, so. First time playing a melee build, especially for league start, so getting used to leap slam versus shield charge, and currently no frost blink, but that's just because I don't have the sockets. Atlas tree is currently all over the place. I do have a couple things in Harvest, as again for self-crafting, and being able to change specifically resistances around is always helpful in league start, so getting some currency can always be a good thing for that. Definitely still having some mana issues, but I have not yet gotten the mana craft from June, so still working on that. We will pick these up just to do a quick identify, just in case. Actually, that's not what I want. The joys of trying to get my own gear. And we did get a duplicate. I do have the master that gives me more armor the longer I stand still, so between that and the gem for grasping vines, obviously standing still is the most defensive, but still got to determine when I want to get out of the way of things. Not a big fan of these little mobs. As the normal is, you should always take the option with the blue name for the, I guess they're considered tier 4, and have a better chance of dropping stuff. Chaos Res is currently capped, so that helps a bit, but obviously still getting out of some of that degen stuff is the preference. Let's see, can't leech life, that should make this more interesting. At least with Jug, we're very heavy on the regen as opposed to Slayer, where it's going to be all leech. Of course, I'm only around 500 regen at the moment, so that's fairly low as well. See, it does a pretty good job of blue packs. Trying to build up some rage before we go crazy, but obviously not necessary. Picking up brings some things for Chaos Recipe, still trying to build up the funds. I've only done the League mechanic once, but was successful. Followed some of the guides and using the team to do most of the damage and just kind of keeping on the defense side and killing stuff that was going after my own altars. Definitely not an expert on the layouts of these, so likely very inefficient in how to run them. Definitely pleased with the mobility that Leap Slam gives. Like I said, not super used to it, but enjoying the playstyle. See, 49 remains, so we will get on out of here. Not that I need to save a portal scroll, but we will. So that's what it looks like for, was that a tier 9 map? Again, level 88 is a little bit high on that end, but gear-wise, definitely still lacking. Basically looking at tilted DPS of 63,000. It's definitely a little more than that when you get trauma stacks and everything else involved, but again, still pretty early for a player like me. Prison Weave got us an early drop during the Axe, which has been, again, helpful. The elemental damage is not as useful as could be for physical for Boneshatter, but still extra damage. Same with on the Axe, getting that as well. Carnage Heart also dropped during the Axe, been kind of nice, using it more for the leech than anything else. Purchased this on trade just to get my Chaos Resist in line. Again, some regen life, not bad things as well there. Picked up Ring, complete garbage. Again, not even a full level craft, just enough to get resistances by. Helm, self-crafted, decent resist, some armor. What else? They put a better craft on it, but that's not going to invest too much on an earlier helm. Just trying to stack some armor up to help. Chest piece also got on the trade for just a couple chaos. Was using a 4-link for the longest time, but really want to get to a 5. Do not have the craft yet for the Fizz Taken As, so just ran a cheap armor one for now. Boots. Again, nothing fancy, movement speed, chaos resist. Again, just trying to get that stuff back in line. Again, really bad flasks, but it's enough to keep me going. Again, got the Roomies and the Chalice from Max, which was kind of nice. I do not have UC bleed immunity here. It's because I did take this mastery on the tree, which I don't see a lot of people taking, but getting me to bleeding if the helmet has more armor, which it does. It's been very nice. I also get corrupted blood immunity from the protection mastery, so those two as a combination have really helped. Just again, not ignoring it as some of the degen and some of the mods on maps. Still vulnerable to poison, but everything everything else is okay. The biggest thing that I'm missing at the moment is shock resistance. So through the ascendancy of Juggernaut, being immune to stun and action speed slows stops the freeze and chill slows, but unfortunately that does nothing for shock. So I currently have 12%, which is a little bit on the tree, but that's one of the next things I need to shore up, as some of those mobs that'll get a big shock on me definitely chew through my my life pretty horribly. Again, armor from standing still is 48,000. That's without Molten Shell, so not too terrible. Last on the skill gems, main Boneshatter setup. Again, pretty defensive. Close combat support, Fortify, Ruthless, and Melee Fizz. Just have Determination here in the last slot. Have my Herald Warbanner Blood Rage. Cast some damage taken. Feeling out if I wanted to be level 5 or lower or higher, but so far it's worked out. Right now using Warlord's Mark. Again, that's dealt with the Mana Leech until I get the Ring Crafts to drop the mana cost, and I really need that Mana Leech. I have it on the tree as well, but this just helps sustain. And then, again, a low level Molten Shell. On the helm, we're running our 2 Ancestor Totems, multiple totem support, and Calling Strike. The Calling Strike definitely helps on some of the Essence monsters, so really nice kind of add to have there. We got our Ancestral Cry, our Berserk, leaps on faster attacks, keep things moving quickly. And then on the boots, we got Vengeance with Rage, get a little more Rage support when I get hit, and then Main just to add a little more damage to it as well. So overall, very happy with the build. Like I said, first time doing Boneshatter, and it's sort of a, I guess, regular, more casual player perspective of it, as opposed to what you see on a lot of the streams. So that's all I got. Thank you so much.